Tell me this though, like for my site specifically, it's very personality brand. I could definitely,
Mhm.
make it not a personality brand by taking me off because Eventual Millionaire is a name that could be sort of anything. My
Mhm.
mentors even told me to do that. My mentors are like, don't be the person interviewing. We want to have other
Mhm.
people on the site. That way you can sell it. I'm like, I don't want to do that. When
Yeah.
somebody's going through and trying to figure out, and I usually have people vision out and go, do you want to sell your business or not? And usually
Mhm.
if they're like, I don't want to sell it, they'll put their name in the domain. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
if somebody has a personality brand, is it sellable or do they have to stay on or like how does that work?
Yeah, that's quite a common question that comes up, and you're right. If you go with a name like, for example, you've got Eventual Millionaire, but people know it's Jamie. It's the same with my business. People know it's international, but I'm out there doing interviews, I'm speaking at conferences, writing on kind of industry publications. So I think it's unavoidable to have someone as the face of a business. It's quite hard to. I mean, I found especially if you've got a service business or anything relying on people, it's quite hard to build a business without a person at the front of it. If you have a personal blog, generally speaking, they're very difficult to sell if
Hmm.
your name's all over them. We have sold sites in the past where we sold a travel blog a couple of years ago where there was a couple who run it. They didn't have the domain wasn't their name, but they were kind of the known people who ran it. And in that particular deal, we just agreed that the buyer could take over and had a license to use their name going forward. So all the content they had already created would stay. And then I think they also made an agreement that they would create content for the next 3 months. But it kind of depends on the niche. In their case, it was a travel blog that had a lot of affiliate income. So that's not that income stream is not necessarily reliant on the
No, that's
owner.
exactly what
So
I was
let's
thinking.
say
So even if you sell a business for extra 30 grand, how much time did your team take and how much did you spend on expenses and how much did you take for time and all that fun stuff too? I'm sure which factors in. Do you ever figure out those numbers with like, okay, how much time do we actually put into this? How much do we have to expense? What did that
yeah,
actually look like?
yeah, no, absolutely. Especially when we've done bigger purchases more recently. So just from it's almost impossible for us to buy something for say 5,000 because if we say even if we turn it into 20,000, which is a great return, by the time you've paid staff, tax, all
Hmm.
those things, it's really not that viable. Whereas starting out on my own when I was like 22, 23, living on my own, no real kind of commitments, making $15,000 was great. But now that doesn't even pay like half our staff for the month. So you really got to kind of go go with like your current situation and what it will cost you. But we'll always think about that. And that's why these days we tend to go for the more long term projects rather than the short term, make say 15, 20 grand, which is great when you're trying to build a bankroll and build some experience. But it's not so useful if you're running a business as consistent overhead and you're trying to grow. It's just a bit disruptive if you're constantly giving people new projects to do and you're constantly on the lookout for new opportunities.